All right, so just widen your feet slightly. Let's go with the right arm first. And just a 30% effort throughout your entire body, create a little bit of tension. And externally rotate the arm, and we're going to sweep across. Hold that external rotation. We're going to come up into shoulder flexion as much as possible. Now we're going to start to internally rotate, turn the bicep towards the floor. Try not to move any other body parts. Into extension, and then hand by the side. Now guys, so internally rotate, so turn your bicep towards your body. Reach straight back. Then we're going to externally rotate, turn the bicep to the ceiling. Keep reaching back. Keep rotating. Back into flexion. Back across the body. And back by our side. One more rep on this one, guys. Keep those elbows straight as well. Internally rotate. Reach straight back, externally rotate. Nice, guys. Let's switch sides. 2 reps. Sweep across the body. Into flexion as much as possible. Internally rotate. Keep trying to rotate that bicep towards the floor. And by your side, reach straight back. And externally rotate. Yeah, what you can do, guys, is even watch yourself on Zoom and just take a look, see if your spine is twisting. Remember, we're trying to keep our shoulders square. Only move that shoulder joint. Nice. Keep rotating, keep rotating. Good stuff, guys. All right, let's do the rest of our upper body as well. So let's go into the neck. Tuck your chin. Look over your left shoulder. Drop the ear back, look up. Ear to the other side. Look over your other shoulder. Chin towards the armpit, back to the middle. One more this way. Always avoid pain. Once you've completed those 2, let's go back the other way. Keep an even tempo. So try to move at the same speed throughout the whole rotation. Good stuff, guys. All right, let's move on to the elbows. Just do a couple on these. So turn your palms to face forwards. Flex the elbow, squeeze your bicep, turn your palms forwards, and extend the elbow. Squeeze the triceps, rotate as much as possible. Flex, squeeze, rotate as much as possible, and extend. All right, guys, 2 the other way. Keep your palms down, flex, rotate, and extend. Try to squeeze out as much rotation from the elbow as you can. All right, guys, let's move on to the wrists. Let's go both arms together. Robot arms. Actually, today let's try palms facing up instead. So keep your palms facing up this whole rotation. If you notice your palm is not towards the ceiling, then you know your elbow has rotated. All right, guys, so let's begin by, let's just point our fingers to the floor. All right, then let's try to point our fingers out to the side. And then let's point our fingers to the ceiling and then to the inside. Let's go 2 more this way. Keep your palm flat. Okay, once you're back to fingers pointing down, sweep back to the inside, up to the outside, down. Last rotation. Okay, guys, we're going to move on to the spine. We're going to do this in a kneeling position. If you're not comfortable kneeling all the way back on your heels, then just come into a tall kneel, so up like this. And just spread your knees about shoulder width apart. Hands across the body. And we're going to flex the spine as much as possible. Let's rotate to the left as much as possible. Then we're going to laterally flex. So lean over. Then we're going to extend. And then we're going to laterally flex to the right. And rotate right. And back through the middle. Guys, try to keep the head neutral. So we're focusing on our lumbar and thoracic spine. So we want to keep our head still so that we're not compensating with the neck. All right, once you're back through 2 reps, let's change directions. Good stuff, guys. And then last one for our cars to start today's session, we'll just go for the scapula. So just let your arms hang by your side. So let's just break it down and then we'll put it all together. So first of all, we're going to protract our scapula. So push the shoulders forwards and we're going to retract. So squeeze the shoulder blades back. Let's go 2 more that way. Just forwards, backwards for now. All right, now we're going to elevate, shrug to the ears, and depress. Shrug down. Elevate and depress. 1 more. All right, let's put those into rotation. So let's protract. So push forwards, elevate, shrug up, retract, and depress. Good. 2 more this way. Try to create as large a rotation as you can. Okay, guys. Reverse direction. So retract, elevate, protract, depress. Last rep. Well done. All right, so it's been pretty much exactly 10 minutes. And we got through all our upper body cars. We were going quite slow, and we even added in a couple extra bits. So yeah, hopefully that just shows you that you can get these done in a quick manner. All right, so let's move on to stretching out our shoulders, and then at the end of class, we're gonna add in some more end range strength training. All right, so first of all, just similar to what we did last session, we're gonna lie on our side and work on our internal rotation. So if you have a yoga block or a pillow, use that just to rest your head on. Even a foam roller can work. All right, guys, I don't mind which side you start first. So yeah, your two options are grabbing under the elbow and then pushing down with the top elbow, or you can just leave your elbow on the floor and push down. Key thing here, guys, keep your shoulder blade quite neutral so you don't want the scapula protracted. And guys, let me know if you have any pain or pinching. Slow your breathing down. Try and melt into the position. Find that deep stretch that you can relax into. 1 more minute passive here. So guys, now that we're familiar with the PAILs and RAILs, we can start to add a little bit more intensity. So as long as you don't feel pain, I want you to try and push as hard as you can in the PAILs and the RAILs. Also remember, we're only focusing on rotating the shoulder joint. So we're not moving our scapula or our spine or our neck or our wrist or our elbow. It's just that rotational movement in the shoulder. So guys, stay in that super deep stretch. Take a deep breath and pack it down in your stomach, and 20% effort, push into that top hand. All right, let's create some more tension, guys. Let's squeeze our knees together. Let's squeeze our abs. Let's make a fist. Let's ramp up to 80% effort. And maximum effort, pain-free. 3, 2, 1, and switch to the rails. Squeeze your abs. Reach that wrist down towards the floor. 3, 2, 1, and back to passive. Relax everything. Try and go deeper into the stretch. So guys, just like when we're doing a heavy back squat or a heavy bench press, the more muscles that we squeeze, the more force we can create. So it's the exact same with our pails and rails. And the more force we can create with our pails and rails, the more beneficial it's going to be, as long as it's not painful. All right, guys, come out on that side. And let's switch to the other side. So you want to feel a nice stretch, sort of wrapping around the top of the shoulder. One more minute relaxing here. All right, guys. Deep breath. Brace the abs. Squeeze the knees together. Start pushing up into that hand. Create more tension in the rest of your body. Push a little harder. Ramp it up to your max effort. And switch to the rails. Try to rotate that shoulder. And back to passive. Good stuff, guys. So even with these pails and rails, we're starting to build some strength in those end ranges. Isometric contractions can build a lot of strength. For example, in a deadlift, if you're doing it properly, your back is in an isometric contraction, it's just holding neutral spine. But your back can get incredibly strong from deadlifting, even though it's just an isometric contraction. All right, guys, come on out of that one. All right, come back to some form of a seated position. So if you want, you can go back to kneeling, or you can cross your legs. And we're going to do what's called a passive range liftoff. So we're basically going to go close to our end range of motion and then try to lift off right to our end range and then go back a little bit, back and forth. So I'm just going to turn around this way so you can see. I want you to put your hands behind your back. Make fists like this. And then what you're going to do is try to lift your fists off your back and then gently place them back on your spine. So guys, to make it harder, just move your hands higher up. To make it easier, move your hands lower down. So in this position, our shoulders are internally rotated near our end range of motion, and we're lifting off right to our end range, back and forth. All right, guys, so slow and controlled. Let's go for 10 reps. All right, guys, lift and gently sit down. And lift and gently sit down. Lift and down. Also, guys, keep the shoulders neutral, so don't just dump your scapula forwards. Lift and down. And 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and last one, 10. All right, guys, come on out of that one. Anyone get a cramp? Right? Yeah, okay. So yeah, that can be common when we're working in our end range because our muscles don't really know how to work there. Our nervous system hasn't had any control there for so long, so you can end up getting cramps. So in that case, just back off a little bit. So maybe move your hands lower down your back. Even put your hands on your butt if you have to. Yeah. Cool, guys. All right, now we're going to shift and we're going to work on our external rotation. So this movement. And for this, let's go back, take our yoga block or cushion, whatever you have. And we're going to lie on our stomach, arm out, place that wrist on the block, and then twist. So for some people, even without the block, you can just leave your wrist on the floor, and that's plenty of a stretch. So guys, get into that. We're going to hold that for 2 minutes. I'm just going to make sure my camera is still working. So on this one, guys, one idea for you is to take your hand, your opposite hand, and gently push into the floor. It'll give you a bit more leverage. So guys, for our pails, we're going to be pushing our wrist into the block or into the floor. Rails, we're trying to lift off. So if you find that you cramp during the rails, come out of the position, then go back into it, and then try to engage to the point just before you cramp. All right, guys, deep breath. Create that tension in your body. Start to push down.
Gradually ramp up that effort. All the way to max effort, pain-free. 3, 2, 1. Switch to rails. Fight as hard as you can. 3, 2, 1. Back to passive. All right, guys, come on out of that one. Let's switch sides.
So on this one, guys, you can also play around with your elbow position. So kind of the starting point is just elbow straight out, but you can try bringing the elbow down or even higher up and see what feels tightest for you.
Okay, guys, let's start that PAILs. Create that tension in your whole body. 20% effort. Ramp it up to 40%. Squeeze that fist a little bit harder. Squeeze those abs. Ramp it up to max effort. 3, 2, 1. And switch to the rails. Keep that tension in the body. See if you can get a lift off the block. And back to passive. So yeah, mobility training really is just strength training our end ranges. It takes that effort in order to create adaptation. Okay, guys, come on out of that one.
Now, if you have 2 yoke blocks, that's great, or 2 cushions. Otherwise, don't worry about it. we're gonna do some passive range lift-offs for external rotation now. I'm just gonna turn this way so you can see better. So we're gonna line our stomach. We're gonna have our wrists, both wrists on each side on a block or cushion, whatever, or just on the floor. Head on the floor. Now from here, what we're gonna do is stay heavy on our chest and our head. Keep our back relaxed. And we're gonna try to lift our wrists off the blocks or off the floor, whatever you have. Yeah. So look like this.
So keep the elbows down, but just lift the wrists. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, keep the elbows down. Just move the wrists up. Because that's external rotation of the shoulder. Once we move the elbows, that's more scapula. And yeah. All right, guys. So again, don't use your spine. Deep breath. Lift those elbows. Lift those wrists and gently down. And up. And parachute down. And up. Parachute down. Up. Gently down. Up as high as possible. And gently down. All right, guys, quick break. If you found that easy, or if you could lift your hands pretty high off of whatever you're using, then make it harder. So you can make the blocks higher, or yeah, you can stack something a little bit higher underneath your wrist so that you can only barely lift off when you're trying as hard as possible. So let's go for 5 more reps now. Okay, deep breath, squeeze those abs, lift, and back down. Lift, and back down. Keep those elbows down. And lift, and down, even if you could only just fit a credit card underneath. Lift, and down. And last one, deep breath. Lift, and down. Good stuff, guys, good stuff. So you can come out of that. So yeah, guys, once you have enough passive range of motion, enough flexibility, these are the ways that you start to add the strength and control and make it into active range of motion. All right, guys, next up, we're gonna do a stretch for shoulder extension. So extension is this movement here. And we need that when we're doing dips, even like push-ups, bench press. We need to be able to extend our shoulders. So you're gonna need either a chair, a sofa, a bench, and you may also need something to sit on. So yoga blocks work, cushions.
Dave, are we doing what we did yesterday?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so what you're gonna do is put your hands on your chair or your bench, just outside your hips. So you're gonna shift your hips off the bench, and then you're gonna lower down. If you can, you're gonna sit on the floor. Otherwise, you can sit on something, so blocks, cushions, and find a point where you feel a good stretch, but it's not so uncomfortable that you can't hold it. All right, guys, so let's get into it. Also, guys, try not to let the elbows flare out. Keep those elbows tucked in. If you have to lean forwards a little bit, that's okay. So this is going to be a great stretch if you want to get better at your dips and your muscle ups. And remember, guys, avoid pain. If it's too painful, sit on something a little bit higher up. Try and relax every muscle in your body. It may start to feel a little bit easier. You may be able to go a little bit lower, or you may maybe not. Just listen to your body. You also might be able to maybe sit a little more upright and point your chest a bit more forwards. Okay, guys, so pails, we're going to be pushing our hands into the chair. Rails, we're trying to lift our elbows towards the ceiling. So this one's really hard. I'd be very surprised if anyone can actually lift their hands off. But just try to engage as if you can. All right, guys, deep breath. As long as there's no pain, push into the bench. Isometric contraction. Ramp it up. Max effort. 3, 2, 1, and switch to rails. Try to lift those elbows up. And back to passive. Okay, guys, come on out of that one. So similar to what we've done on internal and external rotation, now we're going to do some passive range lift-offs for our shoulder extension. So guys, you're going to lie down on your stomach. So I want you to place your fists next to your chest as if you're at the bottom of a push-up. But yeah, make a fist, not your hand flat. All right, from here, I want you to lift your fists off the floor, straighten the arms, rebend, and then gently place the fist back down. So guys, if that's impossible, just move your hands further back until you can just about lift off. All right, guys, let's go for 10 reps.
Also, remember, we're not using our back. Stay heavy on the chest. Okay. Lift those fists off the ground. Straighten the arms. Rebend. And set them back down. Lift. Reach the hands as high as possible. Rebend. And set down. 3. And 4. 5. 6. 7. 3 more. 8. 9. And 10.
Well done, guys. Well done. Yeah, it's hard work, mobility training. All right, last thing for the night, we're gonna do some more shoulder cars, but we're gonna just increase the intensity a little bit. So we're gonna do more of a level 2 or 3 shoulder cars. So if you have a ball, like a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball, I want you to grab that. Otherwise, don't worry about it. And we're going to do our cars where we're up against the wall. But we're going to squeeze the ball in the hand that's doing the cars. So this position, or you can have your hand straight, whatever feels better for you. Now keep your hip, your chest, and your head up against the wall. Now, squeeze that ball, about 50% effort. Squeeze your core. And let's start. Externally rotate. Reach up into flexion. And start to internally rotate. Keep that tension in your whole body. Rotate as much as possible. Reach back into extension. And then hand by your side. Deep breath. Extend. Externally rotate. Keep squeezing that ball. Keep rotating. And back down. All right, one more rep, guys. Think of this like a 1 rep max for your cars. Deep breath. Brace the core. Squeeze that ball. Reach up into as much flexion as possible. Internally rotate as much as you can. Keep rotating, keep reaching back. And let's go back the other way. Reach back, externally rotate. Fight for as much of the rotation as possible. And back down. Good stuff, guys. 2 reps on the other arm, then we're done. So yeah, this is moving us from our daily cars routine, which is more maintenance, to strength training our joints. All right. Remember, keep that whole body in contact with the wall, otherwise that means you're trying to compensate. All right, guys, squeeze that ball, or just make a fist, squeeze your fist, externally rotate. Come up into flexion as much as possible without pain. Internally rotate. Squeeze those abs. Reach back, reach back, reach back. Hand by the side. All right, extend straight back. Externally rotate. Squeeze those abs. Back into flexion and back down. All right, last rep. Your best cars you've ever done. Keep that elbow locked out. Squeeze your tricep. Reach back. Externally rotate. All right, good stuff, guys. Good stuff.